Our region's business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you.
If you're looking for a birthplace and a birth decade for the modern world, Pittsburgh in the 1870s might have been as good a place as any. On the eve of the decade, H.J. Heinz, George Westinghouse, and Thomas Mellon started businesses that would become global names. And just a few years later, Andrew Carnegie got into the steel business. Of course, it takes more than bright young entrepreneurs with innovative ideas to build great companies. It also requires people and organizations with resources and expertise to create global enterprises. Beginning in 1877, the global law firm we know today as Reed Smith was among them. Here are just three examples. In 1901, Judge Reed negotiated for Andrew Carnegie the formation of the United States Steel Corporation. In 1930, the firm represented the Mellon family in the construction of the Mellon Institute in Oakland and the East Liberty Presbyterian Church. And in 1953, the firm represented Equitable Life Insurance in the development of Gateway Center in Pittsburgh during Renaissance 1. Well, Carolyn Duronio hasn't been here quite long enough to have experienced all of that, but she is a partner of Reed Smith, and Ron Francis is office managing partner of Reed Smith's Pittsburgh office. And great, good to see both of you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
It's quite a story, quite an amazing story.
It is, and I will say that one of the things that we are really proudest of is that all of those names that you mentioned, we still represent them. And so we're still really proud that we represent those companies and those families and the progeny from those companies as well.
Well, it is pretty remarkable, and as I was reading through the timeline of all the events, and it wasn't just events in Reed Smith history, but in Pittsburgh and even national history, the firm was there, has been there through some amazing moments in our region's history.
Yeah, it's really great to be part of an organization that has so much history, not only in Pittsburgh, but in the whole country. And it's gratifying when you come to work every day, and as Carolyn said, you get to work with companies and individuals that are associated with some of the original clients of the firm, you know, more than 100 years ago.
And of course, now the firm is much more than just our region, just Pittsburgh, just Pennsylvania, even just America, right?
Exactly. So we have 27 offices that are worldwide, and we are in Europe and Asia and all across the United States.
Pittsburgh's still the home office, though, or sort of the center?
We call it the founding office.
Okay.
It's still a very important office in the firm, but we're in a lot of places. 1,500 lawyers spread throughout the world. 1,500 lawyers throughout the world. Yeah, you look back at that history, I got to ask each of you as longtime Reed Smith people, what's kind of your favorite aspect or milestone or piece of the firm's history? Huh?
Well, so I think that what we've done with the pro bono adoption program, so in the 1990s there was a large backlog of cases that CYS had of children who weren't able to be placed with their forever families because there weren't enough lawyers who were able to go in and handle those cases on a pro bono basis for the county. And we took the whole program over, and within very short time we got them up to speed and up to date, and all of those kids were placed, and we continue to do the nonprofit, the pro bono adoption program. And there's nothing more heartwarming than seeing these children being placed with families that really want them and knowing that they're going to have stable lives going forward. So that's my favorite story.
That's really cool. And your heart goes out to kids that are just stuck in the system.
Exactly.
How do you get them to the family that wants them? And it's great to see you doing that. How about you, Ron?
Well, there's a great story that goes way back that's been told over and over in the firm about how both Philander Knox and James Reed, who were the founders of the firm, represented Henry Clay Frick and Andrew Carnegie, and that Andrew Carnegie showed up one day and wanted to talk with the lawyers, and then the secretary called it and said, "Mr. Frick is waiting in the lobby," and Carnegie and Frick were not getting along at the time, so Carnegie hid in the closet while Frick came in to meet with the lawyers. And I think that a few years ago the New York Times did a story and said Reed Smith might be the only law firm in the world that once hid the richest men in the world in their closet.
Well, it's true. That was a contentious relationship.
Yes.
When you think about your client relationships, that has to be one of the most challenging in the history of any of the partners.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything like that today. Yeah.
Why was it so important for this firm to become global? What kind of drove that decision making and the evolution of the firm over the last 10 or 20 years?
Well, you become global because you want to be where your clients are, and you want to be able to serve your clients wherever they go. And Pittsburgh's clients became global, and we became global with them, as all law firms have become global. So it's in order to provide the services that law firms provide to their clients. You have to go where the clients go. You need to know what the clients need in their business, and that's what law firms do these days.
Challenging to knit together a common culture and a common firm from all those offices.
It is, although we regularly send people to help integrate. I, for example, went to our Hong Kong office for 4 years, from 2008 to 2012.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When we first merged with that firm in Hong Kong. And we have a person here from one of our California offices. He actually came and loved Pittsburgh so much, he sold his house in San Francisco and now lives in Pittsburgh full time. But we regularly do that whenever we combine with a new office to help bring people together and to integrate and help be the traffic cop.
Well, that's great. That's great. So only about 30 seconds left. Where do you go from here? What's next for Reed Smith?
Well, when I look at us now, I think that we were there for all of the renaissances in the past of Pittsburgh, and we're here now. So when you look at Pittsburgh and you look at what's happening in Pittsburgh, the concept of the additive manufacturing, all of the things that are coming out of the universities, the AI, the robotics, we're representing them as they do that too. So we're really thrilled to be a part of the new economy in Pittsburgh, just as we were a part of the old economy in Pittsburgh.
I think it was F. Scott Fitzgerald who said, in American lives there are no second acts, but it sounds like Reed Smith is living one right now.
And all the acts in between, yes.
All right. Carolyn Duronio, Ron Francis, thank you both so much.
Thank you, Bill.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Next up, building the next generation of African American leadership in our region. Stay with us.